we are mildly interesting guys, and we talk about some stuff. So welcome to the podcast, we call it Joel the Podcast. It's Alex and it's Alex, here for Joel the Podcast. Hello everybody, I'm Alex.
And I'm Alex.
And this is our podcast.
Joel.
Man,
so satisfying.
We have not lost our touch on that.
That was great.
So welcome everybody to our first ever world tour.
Yep.
One night only here at Purdue.
One early afternoon only.
Yeah. We are here at Purdue University in the physics building.
In front of a sellout crowd.
As it turns out, no one sent us a picture of money, and no one received a picture of a ticket, and no one is here to watch us. So
yep.
The good news is we are live together, so I'm sure that everything will be much better than usual.
Right. It's just so much easier to flow together.
Right,
you know,
to riff off each other.
Yeah. Like that right there,
yeah,
that wouldn't have worked.
We would have been talking over each other. It would have been like, no, you go. The whole episode is just us talking over each other the entire episode. All right.
I can already tell this is going to be a good one.
So we are here we hoped it would be episode 25, but it turns out we can't count. So it's episode 23? 22.
Yeah. We missed a couple weeks, and then, since we weren't going to be at 25 anyway,
right.
we didn't bother.
If you're a listener and you know where we miscounted, because I think we counted it out loud on the podcast. So if you know where we went wrong, please email us at alexandalex@joelthepodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
And we will be sure to mention that on the podcast. All right. So first things first, just wanted to let everyone know that Nathan does not owe me $1.
We've been together now for about 24 hours, more or less, excluding overnight, I suppose.
Yep,
but
and in that time, Nathan has paid me $1. So
I shouldn't have given you the $1 just to.
You owed me the $1.
Well, just to mix things up for the intro.
Oh, I see.
Nathan owe me $1.
Owes me $1 again.
And then I could.
Let me give it back to you real quick.
I could have just not paid you the $1, and then that could have been our thing for a while until next time.
Yeah. All right.
Luckily, though, so I forget the exact bet that Nebraska was going to convert a third down or something like that?
Right. It was 3rd and 11, and you said, I'll bet you $1 they convert this, and
right.
I said deal, and they didn't convert it.
So that's actually good news because they did not convert. They did not win the game. Purdue finally was able to pull one of those out.
Nice. Yeah, so I guess that leads right into our sports update.
Right. Let's kick things off with Purdue because it's I don't know about Philadelphia, but the Purdue news is excellent.
Yeah.
Basketball season is almost upon us,
4
and
days
Purdue
away.
football has won a game.
Yeah, so win over Nebraska, close game, what was the score?
31-27.
Yeah. So all the analysts picked Nebraska. That's when I knew Purdue was going to win.
Every one of them was like, it's going to be Nebraska because Purdue's defense is terrible against the run and against the pass.
Good against everything else, though.
Good against all those other plays where they just, when Adrian Martinez throws an incompletion for no reason, just hits the ground in front of his receiver's feet.
So Purdue wins. They beat the spread, which was Nebraska -4, and also their backup quarterback got injured, so now they're on to their third-string quarterback, right. O'Connell.
The backup looked pretty good from the bit he played. I mean, it was late in the fourth quarter.
Right,
he
played
came in.
1.5 series, but they did score a touchdown on one of those series, I think. So
yeah.
Actually, maybe.
And
they got a.
I don't remember how it happened. Did they get the field goal on the? No, because they had been ahead for a while.
It was 24-20 Nebraska.
Right. And then Nebraska scored.
It was 17-13. Then Nebraska scored a touchdown.
Then Purdue scored.
And then in that drive that Purdue scored, I think is when Plummer got injured.
He had O'Connell
took over and they scored.
He scored
to make it 24-20. Then Nebraska scored again to make it 27-24, and then O'Connell led them all the way down the field from the 1 yard line, basically, because that was that big, great punt that they had, right? Or was that something
I
else?
think that was a different one.
Oh,
I mean, they were coming from like
the
the 20 or
yeah.
something. They ran the ball out from the 10 or
Right.
something like that.
Oh, no, that was the one where the ball, like, bounced and he, like, fell on it at about the 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so it was an 80-yard drive. Anyway, it was a good drive.
It was excellent. They had some really nice plays to kind of close out the game with a minute left.
Yep, and
There were a series of timeouts, and apparently the offense was able to draw up some absolutely beautiful run plays.
Yes, and the defense stopped Nebraska 4 and out on their last attempt with the minute left.
Yep, it was
For the win.
It was the this is the only game that I've actually watched Purdue play for. I mean, we basically saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know that this is the case for sure. I just suspect it to be true, that because we're here,
That's why they won.
that's why they won.
Well, obviously.
We're on campus physically.
They'll probably not win another game this entire
after we leave, they'll lose the rest of their games, which, maybe that's not that unlikely, I suppose.
It's honestly not. Actually, wait, we don't play Rutgers this year, right?
No, we don't play Rutgers.
Yeah, so we might lose all the rest of our games.
Yeah, unfortunate, but
Yeah, so
especially now that we're down to the backup quarterback. Not that there's any issues with this game that I've seen, but
yeah, so also in Philadelphia sports realm, not much has happened. The Flyers
except
the Sixers. Oh yeah, so the Sixers are 4-0 now, still undefeated. I don't remember. They were probably 3-0 last time, so I guess they've played one game.
and they won it.
But it was a very solid defeat of the Timberwolves. But the newsworthy bit that Nathan is referencing is that Joel Embiid and Karl Anthony Towns got into a fight during the game.
It was a brutal, vicious.
It was basically just a shoving match.
Yeah.
And they were both ejected from the game and suspended for 2 games after that. So, but it didn't really affect the game that much as far as the Sixers were concerned, because they were winning by a decent amount and continued to win by a decent amount.
20 points up when that happened. It was, not really any question.
Right.
So,
but the Sixers are the last undefeated team in the NBA as of now.
which is just what everybody expected coming into the season.
I mean, I think you're joking, but they were one of the best projected teams coming into the season. So it's not that surprising, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is that. The Flyers, I haven't actually checked, so I don't know what happened to them.
They maybe played some games.
Yeah. So, and the Eagles have not played, since we're here on a Saturday, the Eagles have not played since our last podcast.
Who do they play tomorrow?
They play the Bears tomorrow.
Are they going to win?
It's a good question. I really have no idea how good the Eagles are. I honestly won't be surprised if they get destroyed or if they win. The only way I'll be surprised is if they destroy the Bears. That'll be surprising. But
Yeah.
they are at home, which the last 3 of their games have been on the road. So coming back home for 3 games should be helpful.
Suppose there's a reason for optimism then.
Yeah, I think 2 weeks ago I said they're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And
I
now
don't actually remember that.
Okay, and now I'm revising it to they might make the playoffs.
It all depends on how they play the Bears tomorrow.
No, it actually mostly depends on how they play the Cowboys, because the Cowboys have a tough schedule just like the Eagles.
Yeah.
And the Eagles got crushed by the Cowboys in Dallas. So near the end of the season, they'll play in Philadelphia, and that is probably going to be a big game for the division.
For the Eagles, yeah.
Yeah, so that is that. And the Nationals won the World Series this week, which I did not like, but it's their first World Series win in franchise history.
Their first ever, wow.
And
Okay.
it's not only is it their first World Series win, it's the first time they're in their franchise they've ever won a playoff series.
Well, this
had
season, one
right,
other.
They'd won the first playoff series and the second one
They
to
had
get
to get
to the
there,
to
yeah.
get it. But I mean, this year was the first time they won
Right.
a playoff series.
Interesting. So when they win, they really win.
Yeah, it's like the Marlins. The Marlins have never won the NL East, and they've won 2 World Series.
Where are the Marlins from?
Miami. Remember we
That's
discussed?
that's that team you made up the other
They're
week.
not made up.
They don't exist. If you're a Miami Marlins fan or a Miami Marlins player or are in any way
aware of the
associated with the franchise, I would normally I would say email us, but I mean you don't exist clearly.
Please email us.
You're made up. So
at alexandalex@joelthepodcast@gmail.com. Excuse me. So I guess that's the update for the sports world.
Yep.
All right. So we have another announcement.
We do?
Yeah, which is we have started a Patreon.
Oh, yes. We have done that, haven't we?
We have. We have to do the eye thing.
Eye.
The picture of our eyes.
I was gonna remind you
forgot
about
about
at
that.
lunch because I was watching the bartender take a picture of 2 other women
those
at
2
the
other-
bar.
yeah.
And I was thinking, hey, we need to do that.
Yeah.
Should we just do that with like the chalkboard as a background?
Yeah, we should.
Because I don't know what else we would want as a background.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. The idea, our faces are probably going to be mostly what's in frame. Like, we're probably
Right.
not going to see much of the background. So,
Right. If you're...
anyway, visit our high-quality Patreon page. I don't remember that URL off the top of my head.
well, it's patreon.com/Joel the podcast.
Oh, it's Joel the Podcast?
Joel the Podcast, yeah.
Right, so...
It's actually super easy to just make your Patreon URL whatever you want as long as it's not taken by
right.
someone.
Okay, so go to patreon.com/Joel the Podcast and I guess give us money.
Listen, if you're going to give us money, though, make it like a reasonable amount of money because currently we have one patron giving us $1 a month.
Which
and
is
honestly,
the minimum.
That's the minimum. That's all I ever expect us to get,
That's
by the
more
way.
than I ever expected us to get.
But, I mean, now we feel like, because we're getting money specifically for this, we feel like this has to be better now.
Right, I can feel kind of bad for putting no effort in.
Like somebody's paying just for I mean, and like, I don't think that by paying us, he's expecting higher quality content.
If he is, too bad.
Too bad.
He can stop paying us.
That's always he's put $1 into it, invested $1 so far. Honestly, $1, you could just throw away $1 one time and it doesn't really affect you
Right.
at all. So yeah, please sponsor us for a significant amount of money so that we can either feel
good,
feel motivated to like make this better genuinely,
or just not,
or just don't
and
do
not
it,
feel bad,
so that we don't have to care.
All right. All right. So I think we can get on to the actual show today.
Right. Since this is our live podcast on tour, we are looking to put in a little bit more effort than usual,
Oh yeah,
I'd say.
because we thought there were going to be people here to listen to it.
Right. We thought we were going to be able to kind of interact with our audience. Say hi, everybody.
Yep. So that's our audience today.
Yep.
I guess we're gonna do our movie creation today. So you may remember this from past episodes of the podcast, in which we pick a movie premise and then just kind of talk through the movie scene by scene.
Right. So this is almost definitely one of our more popular ideas that we've had to do this in the past.
So we were gonna use some audience participation here, but as there is no audience, we've resorted to an online story generator. So Nathan, you want to read our premise here?
Yeah. First of all, I just want to give credit to this site. This is actually a pretty cool site. It is www.thejohnfox.com, and all of those words are spelled like you'd expect them to be because they're simple words. It's a story idea generator, and I don't know exactly how it works, but when I went to the site, it gave me like a prompt for a story, and then there was a button to get another one. So we clicked through a few times, and we found one that we really like. So The premise of our movie that we're gonna try and write today is an absent father tries to reconnect with his teenage son by taking him to bowling alleys and teaching him the game. And then the prompt goes on to ask, how do they bond over the game of bowling, and what is the biggest resentment the son has against his father?
So, first of all, I just want to say, I don't know what the title's going to be yet, but there's got to be 1,000 bowling puns we can make. So I don't think that should be a problem.
I'm just afraid that we're not going to come up with any good ones on the spot now that you've said that. But
all right.
Surely we can do well enough.
Yes. All right. So I'm thinking that this movie opens with a flashback.
Yeah.
So the dad's like in college or something.
Okay.
And he's bowling like with a team, like
yeah,
a lot of people watching. It's like some kind of championship maybe, and he injures himself bowling. So
okay.
like he bowls and it's a strike, but then and everyone's cheering, and you see him on the ground like holding his knee or something.
Sure.
So where I'm going with this is I like in the future. That's why he's such a good bowler.
Yeah.
To bowl with his son, but he doesn't bowl like professionally or anything.
Yeah.
He injured himself.
Okay.
So.
All right. Okay.
You like that?
So okay. Here's we don't have to go with this.
Okay.
Here's
sure.
just kind of the ideas that sprang to mind when you were describing that. He's in
College.
In bowling. He's in college bowling. And
that's what bowling college is called, bowlage.
So
by the way, throwback to our first podcast in a bowling alley.
Yeah, actually, you know what? We didn't do that intentionally, but that's a really good reason to have picked this.
Anyway.
Maybe we should have gone to the bowling alley. It's probably open, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it's open.
We could go bowling. We could actually go bowling.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you were.
Yeah, that sounds. I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll talk about it after.
Sure. We may go bowling later. But anyway, so the dad, who is not yet a dad, is in bowlage, and he is it's the
that's
10th
canonical to the movie now. He's got like a bowling Cincinnati bowlage or something.
Right. It's just
on his shirt.
He's in bowlage. It's the 10th frame. He's bowled. Let's see, what would it be? 9, 10, 11 straight strikes. So he's on the very last throw. Bowl.
Well, throw. I think throws also. I don't
know.
I don't know bowling.
we don't know anything about bowling, which will make this movie interesting. So he bowls and gets a strike, like you said, injures himself, like you said. He's like a school legend, but also he can't bowl again.
Right.
For the school. And also there is his, at the time, girlfriend, who will become
his wife.
The mother of the child, of the son.
Right, so what it is you see him bowl, you see the strike, you see everyone cheering, and then his wife looks down and she oh no, and she runs over to him. He's on the ground crushing his leg, and everyone's still celebrating. He's and then it just kind of zooms in on his face in pain and then fades into his face modern day.
Right. So, okay, so does this movie focus on, the dad is the main character or the son is the main character?
I guess the son. I don't really know. I just kind of use that as a transition.
Sure. I think it'd be interesting either way, honestly, because, the dad could have a cool redemption story here.
Right.
Or the son could be, you're kind of rooting against the dad a bit because the dad was such
it's got to be the son based on the ending we talked about, right?
True. Well, I mean, does it have to be? Maybe not. Let's.
All right. Let's not say anything about that, and we'll just go.
We'll see where we go. We'll see where it ends up. Before we get too much farther, we've said the dad and the son quite a bit, so I feel like we should have names.
Right. The dad should be called Greg.
The dad is called Greg. The son is Joel.
Yeah.
Joel. Okay. So Greg and Joel.
By the way, so I mentioned a minute ago that we talked about the ending before maybe we should just inform everyone of what our thought process is. So
just give away the ending right now?
We'll just, I guess we can wait if you want.
I think we should wait.
All right, let's wait. All right, yeah. All right. So, Greg, Joel, and what's the mom's name?
It doesn't.
Jolene.
Jolene.
All right.
That's good. The son got named after the mom. Obviously.
Yeah. All right. So,
So like you see kind of this backstory of the dad becoming a bowling legend, but also like having to give up the game.
right.
He gets together with his girlfriend, like, after they graduate, they get married, but he's all depressed because he can't bowl anymore.
Right.
And so it was his whole life.
Right.
Like Greg lived to bowl.
Right.
And so you see him maybe when Joel is a toddler, they're together at the bowling alley, like Joel's just kind of like off in the background because he can't really do anything, right?
Or maybe it's not when he's a toddler. Maybe it's when he's 7 or 8, and you just see him with both hands rolling the ball down the lane.
And he's not that good, so
right.
The dad's kind of depressed, but he's also he's trying to bowl himself, and he's you can tell that he used to be good, but he just keeps throwing gutter balls or something like that. It's just too hard for him to actually bowl a game. My thought process, just to finish up real quick, is that he's depressed. He ends up trying to live vicariously through his son bowling, but his son's no good, so he's just forget this, I'm out of here, I'm gonna try and.
Right. So in your premise, why would the son want to learn to bowl? So okay, I guess I could see that. So my idea was that we go to the son's teenage years, and he's a rebellious teenager.
Okay.
And so the son gets in trouble, and the dad's all right, I have to somehow connect with my son. So in order to try to connect with him, he's let's go bowling, and he teaches the son to bowl. So.
Okay. Well, so that's an option. That's an interesting option. The other, if the dad is
Greg.
we should just.
I think I made the mistake too. So
we spent all that effort just a minute ago coming up with
all that effort.
All
using our two default
the literal
names.
best names we could come up with.
At least they sound very real and extremely not fake.
Unlike Marlins or whatever it is.
That's it.
So Greg. If Greg is out of the picture for a few years, and Joel is getting into trouble, and he's he needs his dad to come back.
Greg's kind of distant, right? He's depressed.
Right.
So yeah, so I guess here's what it is. So after you see him injured,
yeah,
we cut to 10 years later or whatever.
Yeah.
The son's a young kid. And the scene we just talked about where the kid's bowling and I feel the dad's in the background staring off into or just staring, looking depressed at the son bowling. And then you see I feel the dad shouldn't even try to bowl. He's just injured and can't bowl anymore.
He's wearing a knee brace still.
Right. He just looks down at his knee brace.
Yeah.
And his wife's next to him and he realizes he's looking sad. She's oh. And then I feel that scene needs to be longer if we're just going to insert that in there.
Right. Maybe things have been rough between them for a little while now, and this is just kind of the climax of that, where they're together at the bowling alley watching Joel bowl, and Jolene is listen, Greg, I don't know what else we can do for you. This is it. This is what you wanted. We're here. We're all bowling. We're we're trying to be a family again. And Joel's no, Greg. Greg is listen. It's just, I can't be here. This is too much.
Right. And he gets up and hobbles off.
He just storms out. Except,
Right.
He's crippled still.
And now cut to 9 years later.
Joel's where's
Joel's 16.
Dad?
Oh, so you think the dad just left.
Like walked out, you know?
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's a bit extreme, but
Well then, so wait, so is the idea that dad just shows back up to teach him bowling?
I think the son needs to want to reconnect. And the son being Joel being bad at bowling.
I'm sorry.
We're so bad.
It's mostly my fault. You keep correcting yourself, and then I just keep saying the dad and the son.
So Joel, like, they're not. Greg and Jolene aren't like divorced or anything. They're just like really distant, kind of separated.
So it's not like they haven't seen.
Yeah, it's just
Greg.
There's no like. Greg has no relationship with Joel.
Right.
After
so they still
basically giving up on.
Right. They still live together.
I feel like that'd be a bit harsh for like you living with your dad and he's just like, you can't bowl, you're worthless and meaningless to
Now
me.
here's what I think. I feel like they still live together,
Yeah.
but Greg is just like super depressed and mopey all the time. And Joel grows up never wanting to bowl because of what happened to his dad. Like,
but he comes to realize like why his dad is the way he is.
well, what will happen, he doesn't want to bowl.
Yeah.
And he's acting out because of how, his dad isn't really in his life. He's just kind of going through the emotions.
Yeah.
And what happens is Joel like gets into trouble, like bigger trouble, like, he gets arrested at a college, like drinking at a party, drinking or something, or he and his friends are like vandalizing a store, something dumb that kids do like that.
Right, yeah.
And the dad goes to the police station to pick him up. Sorry, Greg goes to the police station to pick him up.
Yeah.
And the police officer there is like, this is the third time this month something like this has happened.
Yeah. You need to connect with your son.
You need to straighten